Great morning, you guys. Great morning. Great morning. I'm going to give y'all a minute to come in because I'm real off schedule. While y'all are coming in, I'm going to go ahead and share. When you come in, let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Now, they said that there's some challenges, so you guys may not be able to, I may not be able to see your comments and stuff, so we're going to see. We're going to see what it does. Great morning, April. Good to see you, beautiful. Hey, Miss Carolyn, how are you, gorgeous? Let me go ahead and hit these groups, y'all. Mm. I'm in a press, y'all. I'm in a press right now. This is a press for me. I'm pressing, okay? Thank y'all for sharing. Ooh. I gotta tell you, listen, I messed up last night. I messed up. Hey, Phoenicia. Good to see you too, gorgeous. Okay, that's all I can do this morning. That's all I can do. Great morning, you guys. Great morning, great morning. First of all, let me apologize for it being so late. I messed up last night, and I'm gonna tell y'all how. Hey, baby. My husband's been trying to get me up for the longest, y'all. I could not, I could not do it. So let me tell you what happened. Last night I did a launch for Prophetess Tammy Riley, and I did my sprays, right? I did the launch at 7 o'clock. So I did my sprays at 7 because I realized, oh, I haven't done my sprays today. So I did my sprays. I was up. I'm talking about just up. I'm talking about like sleep nowhere in sight. I'm like, it's 1 something, almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up. So then, in order to come down, I take some calm, right? I take some calm before I do my dreaming. Well, I got extra calm, okay? Because I'm like, I really need to go to sleep. And even after I did that, I took my calm, I took my dreaming. Like I was struggling to go to sleep. I was cold. I couldn't get comfortable. Like I just was like, oh, I just want to sleep. So when I went to sleep, it was done. It was done. It was done, right? Normally I wake up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not at all. No, sir. Not at all. So listen, I just need y'all to know it's a 2-shot morning for me. It's a 2-shot morning. Oh my goodness. Y'all come on, let's do it. Y'all know what we do. If you don't have some Alive, get you some Alive. If you've got some Alive, right? You've got some Alive, but you haven't tried all of our sprays. This is your opportunity to do so. You can get 2 bottles of sprays and our Power 7 All 7 sprays for $100. You can't beat it. And when you put a smart ship on, you lock that price in. All right, y'all. So let's go. Shot, 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 shot. Everybody shake, shake, shake. Shake the devil off. A, B, C. It's easy as 1, 2, 3. I'm telling you, do, re, mi, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, alive. Baby, it's you and me today, because we got to get it together, okay? I need y'all. I need you. Na, 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 na. You're the one I want. Which one do I want? Oh, yeah. Okay. What I got to do to get your attention? Great morning, y'all. Great morning. Listen, Linda, listen. Here's to it being worth the sacrifice. Cheers. Today is Good Friday. The day we honor the sacrifice of Jesus as he went to the cross for us, died once for all. And sometimes, you have to just look back over your life. You have to just look back at what you've gone through. You just have to look and say, listen, was it worth the sacrifice? The fact that Jesus made the sacrifice that he made for us, and we get to reap the benefits of that. Here we are, all these generations away from it, right? They're away from when the actual event took place. I wonder if he ever looked at us and be like, I don't even know why I went through all that for them. I don't even know why I would even make those kinds of sacrifices for them. Look at them. They don't believe nothing. Oh, ye of little faith. Look at them. They don't get it. They don't understand, right? Well, I know as human beings, we may be like that, right? I'm grateful that he has the love that he has for us, that he had it then and that he has it now. I'm grateful for that day when he willingly went to the cross and gave up the ghost. I'm grateful that he didn't break under pressure. I'm grateful that he saw it through to the very end. And I want to do my part. I want to do my part to just make it worth his sacrifice. Listen, the thing about God is he doesn't ask us for a lot. And I know that people think that you got to do a lot, but listen, there's some things, angel number 111, that he's looking for when it comes to us. There's some things he's looking for when it comes to us. And we've got to understand that though our journeys may not be exactly the same, our journeys will all have some similar elements, similar components and experiences. And at the end of the day, we all have this in common, that God loved us enough to send his son to die for us all those generations ago. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for his sacrifice. I really am. But what I want to tell you is, like Jesus, there's some sacrifices that God calls for you to make. And like Jesus, that's our elder brother. There's some things that you're going to go through. And like Jesus, you have to decide if it's worth the sacrifice to you. When we sacrifice our will and we take God's will, right? He always has something better for us than what we would have chosen. It always ends up better for us than what we would have done or just picked in our flesh with our mind, right? But you still have to make that decision. You still have to make that choice. You still have to have your garden experience. And I'm not talking about the Garden of Eden. I'm talking about the Garden of Gethsemane, where you're the only one, like nobody else can get through it. You got to get through it. You can have people with you, but they can only go so far. Like you can have people praying, but baby, their prayer is only going to be so much. But it's worth the sacrifice. Jesus went into the Garden of Gethsemane, and he went into the garden because like he was in a press. He knew his time was coming. Like, I know, y'all, listen, we want to make Jesus, his experiences, not human, but there's a reason he took on a human body. It was so that he could have a human experience, right? And he had to make decisions. He had to make choices. He had a will, just like we have a will. He had a will. And he had to decide whether or not he was going to do this thing. And as he went into the garden, him and his boys went to the garden. The three that, were his riders that really, really, really had him, that were closest to him, right? The three that were closest to him, they all went to the garden. He said, listen, I got to leave you right here. You can't go any further. He said, but I need you to pray. I need you to pray, right? And so here we got you, Jesus. We got you. We're going to pray. We're going to pray. We're going to pray. So Jesus goes into the garden, and he's in the garden, and he's talking to God, and he's just looking for an answer. Listen, is there any other way we can do this? Like, can we do something else? Is there another thing that we can do? Is there something else we can do in place of this? Like, I'll do it, but can it just not be this? Is there another way for us to get the desired outcome, right? Is there something else we can do? Crickets. Suddenly, God was quiet. And Jesus left out, and he went out there, and he's getting ready to talk to his boys, and they sleep. They knocked out. He's like, wake up. Wake up. You're supposed to be praying. They're like, okay. Jesus, I'm up. 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 Father God, we thank you. Father God, we praise you. Father God, we worship you. Father God, Jesus goes back into the garden. Father God, and sleep again. They didn't understand the significance and the magnitude of what was happening. Have you ever been in a place in your life where you were going through something and it was so heavy, but it seems as though nobody, y'all didn't even go live on Instagram. It seems as though nobody got the magnitude of what you were going through. Nobody got it. Nobody understood. Nobody was with you, right? Nobody. It just seemed like they didn't get it. To where you like, can't y'all see what I'm going through? Can't y'all see what's happening? Can't y'all see it? Like, don't y'all get it? Like, I need you to be praying for me right now. Like, I know I'm normally the one that carries everybody else, but I need you right now. I need you to be there for me the way I've been there for you. He prayed. Still, No answer. He goes back out and he's just trying to get himself together. I know he was like, I'm sick of this. All that I have done, and y'all can't even stay awake and pray. This is ridiculous. He ends up going back into the garden and he just begins to cry out to God. As he's crying out to God, his tears turn from water to a thick, sticky substance, like blood. I'm talking about that cry that comes from your very core. He said, God, Daddy, please, please, if there's any other way that we can do this, any other way, if there's any other way to do this, can we please find another way? No answer. And finally, he said, not my will, but your will be done. That statement right there lets you know that Jesus' will was not to go through what he was getting ready to go through. His will was it was not to get on the cross. It was not to die like that. That was not his will. If that was his will, there would have been no reason for him to say, not my will, but thy will be done. It meant that he was at a place in his life where his will and God's will were not the same. And he had to make a decision. He had to make a decision, and he had to make a decision right then. What am I going to do? Am I going to do what my father has charged me to do? Am I going to do what my father has called me to do? Am I going to do what my father has purposed me to do? Or am I going to do what I want to do, which is not that? It's not that. Now, I don't wash feet. I done been betrayed. I done let, I knew that it was going to become, I knew I was going to be betrayed. I still ate with him, God, and I loved him. I've done all of that. But this thing right here that you ask of me is hard. This is a hard thing. Have you ever had a hard thing that God called you to do? Like you couldn't get out, like you knew you had to do it. But it was a hard thing. It was not necessarily your will to do it. But you had to make a decision, and you had to make a decision whether to do it and follow God's will or do what you wanted to do, which was easier. It was more comfortable. I know sometimes we take Jesus' journey so lightly. Like, we take his sacrifice for granted. And we decide that we're just going to do what we want to do. We're going to follow our will and not God's. So it's almost like we make Jesus a sacrifice of no effect. I came to tell you today that what Jesus did cost him. And what God needs for you to do will also cost you. This is not a journey where you're not going to have to pay any price, but you won't have to pay the price that he paid, because he paid that price once for all. But you're going to have your own sacrifices. You're going to have your own garden experiences, those moments where you're in the garden and you're trying to decide, am I going to do this or am I not? God, I love you and I trust you, but what you ask is a difficult thing. This thing that you require of me is hard. And you got to decide, are you going to operate in your will or God's will? Which will are you going to abide in? And some people won't understand why it's so challenging for you, because for them, that's an easy thing. But everybody has a hard thing that they have to go through. Bless you, baby. A thing that, like, you literally are like, God, listen, can we? Oh, this is a lot. And usually it'll be more than one garden experience in your life, but the garden experience is the garden experience, and it is necessary. It's a necessary part of your life. It's necessary. The question is, whose will win? Yours or God's? I'm so thankful that we have Jesus as an older brother to provide a model for us of how to do this thing called life, how to deal with haters, how to deal with betrayal, how to deal with people's expectations and people lying on you and talking about you and saying all manner of evil against you falsely. How to deal with people where it seems like no matter how much you do and what you do, it's never enough. How to deal with just the disappointments of life. How to deal with having to leave some people behind. How to deal with choosing God. How to deal with leaving your mother. Jesus dealt with it all. But what he didn't do was walking around moaning and groaning and complaining about what he was doing and what he had to do and what was going on. He endured like a good soldier. Showed us what endurance looks like. Showed us what it looks like to persevere. Showed us what it looks like to keep going in spite of and not because of. And I don't know what you've got going on in your life right now. I don't know what challenges you're facing. But what I will say is this: I know it ain't the equivalent of what Jesus had happening in his life. So I'm going to say this to you. You take it how you want to take it. It's worth the sacrifice. It's worth the sacrifice for you to get to that place that God is trying to take you to. It's worth the sacrifice for you to fulfill the assignment that God has for your life. It's right here, but you'll pour me some more when you get through taking that.
You already had two?
No, I just took one.
Oh.
It's worth the sacrifice. It's worth it. I had to make a decision this morning because everything in my body said, stay in the bed, girl. Stay in the bed. Stay in the bed. It said, stay in the bed. The bed was warm. I was finally warm. I was comfortable. Listen. It said, stay in the bed. And I ain't gonna lie to you. I almost stayed in the bed. I almost stayed in the bed. I was like, oh, I can miss one day. It was like, because just yesterday, I think it was, I was talking about people talking about my consistency. So of course the enemy want to knock my consistency off, right? But I had to choose. I had to choose to get up. I had to choose to, even though I was moving slow, angel number 122, I was moving slow, but I was determined, no matter what, to do this. And I tell you what really helped me, what really pushed me, was the fact that it's Good Friday. I said, I can't miss Good Friday. Let me get up. If Jesus could go to the cross, I can go and do this live. I can do this. I got this. I got this. Y'all, look. Life is going to life and people are going to people. Those things are going to happen. It's just going to happen. But you have to make a decision to press through even in the most challenging times, even in the most difficult times. When people understand and when they don't. When people like you and when they don't. When people betray you and when they're loyal. You have to press through. But it's worth the sacrifice. It's worth the sacrifice. It's worth the sacrifice. I really didn't know what I was going to say this morning. I didn't know what I was going to talk about. I just know I heard God say it's worth the sacrifice. I knew I was going to be talking about Jesus. I knew that. That much I knew. I didn't expect him to take me to the garden. Like, he definitely took me there because I'm like, okay. Sometimes we undervalue the garden experience. But the garden is pivotal in our journey. And everybody's going to go to the garden where all you can do is talk to God and he might not say a single word back to you. You're going to have to choose his will because he's already told you his will. You're going to have to choose that over what you want to do. On this Good Friday, as we honor the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, the Messiah, Yeshua, I encourage you to think about the sacrifices that he made, that we might have life and life more abundant. And I want you to think about what you're doing with your life. Are you walking out God's purpose and plan for your life? Are you pursuing the destiny that God has established for you? Or are you simply allowing life to pass you by? What are you doing? It ought to be a time of personal accountability. What are you doing with the sacrifice that Jesus made? What are you doing with your life? Where are you allowing your will to override God's will? And as I'm talking, God is talking to me, he does that, having a whole conversation with me about something that I got to do that I don't want to do, that I was clearly like, I am not doing that. No, I'm not. God said, you are, because there's purpose in it. And can I just share this with you all? I want to be transparent today. I really want to be transparent because I need you to understand that it's worth the sacrifice. God has required me to do some things that I'm like, hell to the no. I'm not doing that. I will not. I am not. I don't know who you're talking to, God. You done called the wrong person. I'm not doing that. Now, you know me. Why are you even telling me to do that? Because I'm not doing that. And even when I fight it, listen, he's not going to stop until I do it. It's not like I can just choose and think, oh, he forgot. He didn't forget. He did not forget. And when I wonder why some things are held up, like, why is this not, he'll gently remind me. Remember when I told you to do such and such? And I'm like, yeah, but we passed that. Why are you bringing up old stuff? You still got to do it. You still got to do it. I know you want to act like it didn't happen. I know you want to act like you didn't say it. I know you want to act like it's not required. But it is. Maybe I'm the only one that happens with, but I just wanted to be transparent with you guys and tell you, I definitely have those moments, and it's not like one or two. I've had a lot of them. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I legit feel like God be doing too much when it comes to me. God, you be wanting too much from me. Now, listen, I done did this, and this. And now you want me to do something else? What in the world? Have I not done enough? Then I get to remember what Jesus did, what Jesus went through, what the assignment is, what my purpose is. And if I'm not willing to grow and evolve, and I'm not willing to sacrifice, and I'm not willing to show forth the love of God, and if I'm not willing to forgive, and if I'm not willing to do all those things that Jesus did as a role model and an example before us, I'm not worthy of the destiny and the assignment. But though I miss the mark, hard-headed, disobedient, rebellious, he does not change the destiny. My destiny is my destiny. Your destiny is your destiny. The question is, do you get there? The question is how you get there. The question is, how long does it take you to get there? Doesn't change his love for me. Doesn't change my destiny. Doesn't change. Listen, this is the thing. It's not about me being qualified. It's about him qualifying me. It's not about me doing something that makes me worthy. It's about he gives me my worthiness. He gives me my value. It is inherent. He gave it to me. He gave it to me when he formed me in my mother's womb. My value was established. And no matter how much I've been crumpled up, thrown down, stepped on, rolled in dirt, no matter what's gone on, it didn't change my value. And no matter what you've gone through, it doesn't change yours. But the question is, will you get to the destiny that God has established for you? You all, it's Good Friday, and we're honoring the sacrifice of Christ. But we're also challenged to make our own sacrifices that we too might fulfill our destiny. He fulfilled his destiny. He did what he was brought here to do. He did what God ordained for him to do. He got his destiny. He did it. And now he sits at the right hand of the Father because he fulfilled his assignment. What about you? You may say, Dr. V, I don't know how to get there. I don't know what I need to do. Well, listen, look at God, because God is the answerer of prayers. Tomorrow in Destiny Driven Masterclass, I'm going to be walking through how you identify your destiny and create your destiny driven roadmap. Got to create the destiny driven roadmap, your roadmap to your destiny. Listen, we're going to walk through it. You're going to get all of the steps. You're going to have all of it. And you all, this is the thing. This is not, because this is what I think people think about Jesus. And anyway, I think people think that Jesus did things that are unattainable. I think people think, oh, but that was Jesus, because I know I've said it. That was Jesus. I'm not Jesus, right? But check this out. Jesus said this. He said, and greater works than these shall you do. Now, I know we want to talk about the miracles and, oh, he was talking about the miracles. No. He was talking about life because, listen, he provided a roadmap for us. And once you have a roadmap, you ought to be able to get to the final destination because you got the map. You've got the map. But if you have no map, you'll continuously be wandering, lost, struggling, because you don't have clarity and you don't have direction. Destiny Driven Masterclass is going to help you get that, as well as figure out, how do I bring all of me to my destiny, and how do I use those things about me specifically to help me get there. I know we look at things and we think, oh, well, this is a liability. Oh, this about me. Well, listen, you know, some things about you may not appear to be the best, right? So in order to get you to your destiny, but what if God gave you that personality, gave you, allowed you to have those challenges, gave you challenges in order for you to build up the endurance necessary to be able to get to your destiny. You've got to know how to take all of you, bring all of you without judgment, without beating you up to get to your destiny. How do I, as I am right now, make the necessary adjustments, use what I have to get to my destiny? Go to bit.ly/Destiny Driven 2024. That's tomorrow, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 2:30. We're going to walk through the Destiny Driven roadmap, and you're going to walk away with a literal map that you can begin to fill in so that you can see how it all works together, because it does. That's why the word says, and all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. I pray this word has blessed you. I pray that you've gotten some encouragement. I pray that you see that you're still worth God not giving up on, because you are. You are. There's a song, and I love this song. It says, you thought I was worth saving, so you came and gave your life. You thought I was worth keeping, so you cleaned me up inside. You thought I was to die for, so you sacrificed your life so I could be free, whole, that I could tell everyone I know, listen, you're worth it. You're worth it. I pray this word has blessed you. Listen, if you haven't sold your seed yet, you're $55, $555, $5,555, $55,555, $555,555, $555,555 seed this month. Get your seed in the ground and expect the harvest. Put expectation on the seed. Give your seed an assignment and watch what God does. Listen, I love you guys to life, and life more abundant. Be absolutely, unequivocally, and amazingly blessed.